The title of this section is The Secret of the Flip Switch. I'm sure you'll agree with me that it's to our benefit to feel good rather than feel bad. But with all the negative influences in our life, how can we actually change the way we feel? Here's a simple technique that works for me. This is called flip switching. Flip switching is simply the action that you take to get from a negative, low-energy state to a higher one. It's about consciously finding ways to change or flip switch your vibrational energy in the very moment that you're feeling any kind of negative thought or emotion. We discussed that any negative vibrational frequency, no matter how slight, brings back more of the same, only multiplied. On the other hand, and this is important, anything that causes you to feel even a little bit better than you did a moment before will cancel out that negative frequency. If you don't do something about this, at least some of the time during the day, it's going to pile up and the results are not going to be pleasant. Realize there will be many events that will transpire where your habitual response will be to feel bad. Be aware that this is a conditioned response. In that very moment, ask yourself, no matter how bad you feel, is this feeling bad going to make the situation any better? Is there even one benefit here for me if I feel bad? By being conscious in the moment and asking this question, you'll discover that the only thing that feeling bad accomplishes is to plummet you into more anxiety, more despair, more depression, and of course more stress. You always have a choice. You don't have to think about the promotion that you didn't get, or the business deal that didn't go through, the money that you don't have at this moment, the lover that left you, or any negativity in your life. You can flip switch to something else that will make you feel better in that moment. So in those moments, as soon as you're aware that this is happening, I want you to remind yourself to reach for the thought that feels best. In other words, in that moment, reach for the highest or best possible thought. Don't wait. Find something to think about that makes you feel good right then and there. Next, I want you to say these 6 magic words. I choose to feel good now. In other words, make a conscious choice to flip switch from any negative state to a positive state. That means you need to learn to flip out of any negative thought or feeling as soon as you're aware of it to a vibrational state that makes you feel even a little bit better right now. Not in the next moment, but in this moment. We're not talking about extremes here. We're talking about the normal minute-to-minute, day-to-day negativity. It's those vibrations that we experience most of the time. Those are the ones that tend to accumulate until they mess up our lives. Flip switching is simply looking for ways to feel better in the moment, no matter what's happening around you. It's an activity that you engage in only for your own benefit. Others may or may not benefit from your higher vibrational level, but that's not your intention. What I'm talking about is changing our entrenched habit and addiction to negativity and emotional pain. Negative feelings and emotions are mankind's most disastrous habit. It's what's ruining our world. Not war, not global warming, not crime, nor anything else. These are the effects of negative feelings and emotions. Now this is going to take a commitment, a bit of attention every day. Not all day, but every day. So here's what I want you to do from now on. In any moment, regardless of how you feel, start to train yourself to always reach for the thought that feels best in that moment. Then say these 6 magic words. I choose to feel good now. Then in that moment, ask yourself, what thought can I have about anything that will make me feel good right now? When you do this, you'll experience a shift in your emotional state. In that moment, you will be vibrating in harmony with what you want instead of what you don't want. This newly activated thought that allows you to feel good, even if it's only for one moment or two, will change your life one moment at a time. So from now on, any stress that you experience is a sign to alert you to say the 6 magic words. I choose to feel good now. Stress demands your attention. And by saying the 6 magic words, you immediately diffuse the stress. What's important here is that you do it in the moment where you start to feel bad, anxious, worried, or depressed. Because all you need is a few seconds here and a few seconds there, and the results will be cumulative. Try flip switching for at least 15 seconds. Holding a positive thought or a feeling for just 15 seconds can completely eliminate a negative thought. Instead of worry, doubt, and fear taking over, in that moment, think of anything or anyone that creates positive emotion in that moment and stops the negative attraction. Just recreate that feeling of positive emotion for 15 seconds when you realize that you're in a place of negative attraction. Another way to do this is to think of something that you're grateful for. One of the best ways to feel good and change your vibration is through appreciation. This will always make you feel good. When you find things that you appreciate and you use them as your point of focus, your world has to get better in every area of your life. You could have 99 things going wrong in your life and one thing that's going right. But if you focus on the thing that's going right, the other 99 will either have to go away or improve, because the law of attraction cannot function in a vibration with something that doesn't match it. You cannot appreciate something and be unhappy at the same time. The more you appreciate something, the more of what you appreciate will come into your life. Every time you can find a way to flood your mind with appreciation or gratitude, you are canceling out the negative feelings in that moment. All you have to do is to focus on that for 15 seconds. This is the type of energetic vibration that we're looking for. Finding something that makes you feel good in the moment that will cancel out the negativity of the previous moment. Keep in mind that you don't have to change a negative thought into a positive one. That's not what we're talking about. All you have to do is to create a state of positive emotion in that moment, because that's what activates the positive energetic vibration that attracts what you're experiencing in your life. Your goal from now on is to find ways every day, no matter how you feel in the moment, to flow out some positive feelings or vibrations. Do this for 15 seconds when you feel upset, worried, fearful, depressed, or angry. Do this as many times a day as you possibly can, because every time that you do this, even for 15 seconds, you are overriding about 10 times the negative flow that you sent out. Not a bad exchange, is it? If you can build up to holding this positive energy for a total of just 10 minutes a day, you will start to see incredible things happening in your life that will make your head spin. And all that's required is 15 seconds of flipping from a normal down to a not normal positive feeling any way that you can. So just create a better feeling in that moment and presto. You've gone from a low energy level of negative attraction to a high energy level of positive attraction. You have eradicated at least 10 times the negative flow of energy in just 15 seconds. And you've begun to flow positive energy that can turn things around for you almost instantly. Not a bad payoff for a few seconds of focusing on nothing more than feeling good in the moment. The whole idea here is to create a new habit. If you've always had the habit of momentary impatience when the waitress doesn't bring your food on time, or when your mate doesn't do something as promised, or when the repairman doesn't come when he's supposed to, or someone cuts you off in traffic, that's when you flip switch. If something doesn't happen the way you want it to happen, then flip switch to any kind of better feeling in that moment. I think everyone should have the 6 magic words written on the inside of their eyelids so that they don't forget it. I choose to feel good now. Always reach for the thought that feels best, a thought that makes you feel good. First control the thought, then the emotion. So if I focus only on the things that make me feel good, then my feelings and emotions will change for the better. Flip switching is the key to manifesting your desires. The problem is that most people do not self-correct or flip switch in the moment. They allow thoughts that do not feel good to accumulate, and then they try to use positive thinking later on to correct them. But then it's too late. Forget positive thinking. All you need to do is to reach for a thought that makes you feel good in the moment. Think about something that produces a good feeling instantly. Hold the emotion for at least 15 seconds, as many times a day as you can, and your life will change dramatically. It will allow you to take back your power and turn your life around. Now, don't be fooled by the simplicity of this. A person who creates their life by design instead of by default is one who says, my priority in life is always to reach for the thought that feels best and to feel good in every moment. Because when I feel good, I'm in alignment with what I truly desire. You see, it's not possible to have a negative emotion such as fear or worry and at the same time be in harmony with anything that you truly desire in your life. Therefore, whenever you're feeling the negative emotion of fear or worry, you are in that moment literally asking for or inviting something that you do not want into your life. Once you realize that you're in the process of attracting what you don't want, the first thing you should do is say to yourself, I'm feeling negative emotion, which means I'm worrying. This is an indicator that I'm not in harmony with what I desire. Then in that moment, use self-correction. Stop the fear, worry, and doubt by restating and refocusing on what it is that you want. As I said earlier, this is easy to do because you are never more clear about what you want than when you are experiencing what you don't want. Because what you don't want is always the opposite of what you do want. So at that point, say to yourself, I'm going to stop worrying and refocus my thoughts. Then turn your attention away from what you don't want and toward what you do want. This will stop the negative attraction and start the positive attraction. And your feelings will change from fear and worry to positive expectation. This will happen when you use the process of positive self-correction in the moment. When you put yourself in a place of feeling good, you will receive the answers that you need from your natural inner guidance system with greater clarity. If you ignore the negative feelings and you keep doing what's causing you to feel bad, then little by little you will lose your power to change because you will be cutting yourself off from your natural inner guidance system. This is not some metaphysical, feel-good, positive thinking nonsense. It's pure science. Like attracts like. Meaning that what you flow out will find its vibrational match and magnetically bring you back something or someone that is in vibrational harmony with the feelings that you flowed out. Also, it will bring it back to you multiplied and stronger. This goes for both positive and negative feelings. If you'd like one more reason to flip switch, here it is. I just read a medical report from the Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it's entitled, The Common Cold is Not an Equal Opportunity Attacker. And here's what it says. Scientists have an overwhelming pool of evidence that happy, relaxed, positive people are more resilient to illness than those who tend to be negative, unhappy, worried, and stressed. Adults who are chronically negative, unhappy, worried, and stressed are 3 times more likely to get colds and flu than positive, relaxed, happy people. And when positive, relaxed, happy people do get sick, their symptoms are much milder. The more happier, the more relaxed, and the more stress-free a person is, the less likely he or she is to catch a cold or the flu. So this gives you one more practical reason to use the flip switch. All you have to do is find a way to feel better in the moment when you find yourself sending out fear, worry, or any other type of negative emotion. For this to work, your life must no longer be a mechanical routine run by the habits of worry, fear, doubt, uncertainty, and an addiction to negativity. You are going to have to make the commitment to flip switch or pay the price, which is attracting more of what you don't want. In other words, get out of the habit once and for all of staying in what seems like a normal vibration of negativity, sadness, doubt, worry, and stress, and get into the habit of vibrating high-frequency thoughts and emotions. That's all there is to it. Now, I wish I could complicate this for you, but I can't. The bottom line is you become and attract what you think about all day long. You can either control your thoughts and emotions, or they will control you. If you will monitor your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and constantly flip switch in the moment whenever you're feeling any negative emotion, you will see a dramatic change in your life.